Hello, Spartans, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. We are going to be doing a mission to Minimus. I'm Peacemaker 5672, and I will be here with you along the ride. I started with a rocket that I'd already built. Sorry, I didn't get the build phase done. It is a rover that I intended to go to Duna. It did extremely well for Duna, so I'm fairly certain at this particular point when I'm launching that it would 100% make it to Minimus. I have enough Delta V. This is also KSP with mods, so we have a lot of cool things going on here. We've got the atmospheric clouds, the waterfall effects on there. Obviously, Kerbin is looking gorgeous there, and the outer solar system as well. We're getting close to our orbital stage as we're moving along here. Got a nice view of the atmosphere. I'm setting up the maneuver nodes there. We got to get a good orbital position so that way we can transition into our Minimus run. Gorgeous view down there. And we're launching out of our second stage here, giving it some good fuel. Initially, whenever I started this project for Minimus, I had never actually made it to Minimus. I had been to the Mun and Duna as well as Eve, but I never really seen a reason really to go to Minimus before. I mean, I've done career mode and other things like that, but just in this particular mode that I was in, I've never really had a use to go there. But as I'm trying to go to every planet that I can in this series with Kerbal Space Program, I had to make it a mission to go to Minimus, so that's where we're at with that. We're making the long trajectory here on the orbit. It won't take long before we get to that point where we want to be at. I did run into some issues with this particular mission that you'll see later. For whatever reason, I started having some orbital trajectory issues whenever I actually got in line with Minimus. So you'll see here in just a little bit that when I had made the actual maneuver, I had gotten an intercept for Minimus, but for whatever reason, once I get to the end of that intercept, it just disappears. There's no longer an intercept. So I had to do a little bit of finagling there. And I'm not sure why that happened. I don't know if it was a bug or if the gravity from Minimus just is so small that the intercept just barely didn't happen. We're going to fast forward here in just a second, and you'll see what I'm talking about there. It just didn't want to work for me. It was really, really dumb. And we're moving right along here. I will try to get a mods list for the Series 2 for anybody that's curious about the mods that I have for KSP. And I'll drop a link in the description as to the mods and where you can get them. A lot of the mods I got from CCAN. So a lot of the mods I use I get from CCAN. It's a mod launcher that you can install. It has lots of different mods. It tells you whether or not they're compatible or if you have an issue with that particular mod. Like if it's inconsistent with one another, it won't let you run them together or it'll cause an issue. We're getting really close there to that intercept. Part of the mods that I have for this, as far as the universe that you can see around you, that's absolutely stunning in my opinion. I wish I could look at that every day out my window, staring up at the stars. That's part of the Astronomer's Visual Pack, which also adds auroras and other things. And I don't know about you guys, but at the particular time in which I'm recording this, It is incredibly cold outside. We're sitting at -8 degrees, and that's not normal for the Midwest. Maybe for somebody that lives in Alaska, but for us, it's been very cold. Had to run out and go do some grocery shopping here recently, and man, was I bundled up. That wind is killer. Yeah, I told my wife, I was like, man, you better be happy that I'm going, because it's so cold out. And it was incredibly cold. I was all bundled up, like I said, and I just needed to stay bundled. So we got that intercept, and as you seen a while ago, for whatever reason, the intercept just didn't want to click for me, so I had to do a secondary maneuver. And then I kind of came in a little bit too hot there, so I had to actually give myself a little bit more orbit so I could get a nice landing spot. I'm working that out now. And then soon we'll do a burn and start to slow down. We're going to fast forward a little bit more here, so that way we can get down closer to the planet. Or rather, moon. And here we go. Getting right close to that moon. And now we can see our rocket again. And soon we're going to drop that stage off, and it'll be just the rover. Running low on fuel now. Just burn the rest of that second stage out. Start putting our solar panels in so that way we can land appropriately. Fuel is starting to run pretty low there. See a gorgeous view here of Minimus and the slight atmosphere just around it. It has a very, very thin atmosphere. It's almost nothing. The Mun actually has no atmosphere at all, but Minimus actually has a slight atmosphere. It's almost like a mint green kind of color there. And here we go, even closer to the planet. And it's looking really, really like mint chocolate chip ice cream. I would really enjoy a bite. And there goes that second stage as we are firing up those beautiful sounding electric motors. Always thought they sounded really cool. And we're going to fast forward this landing because it's a little bit slow. As we dive closer and closer. So those are actually runoff of cyan gas. They're cyan gas engines. And we have a massive battery bank as well as a crap ton of RTGs on the top of this, as you can see. Just checking systems there and making sure that we're good on battery. And as you can see, we get closer and closer. You can see the slight hue of the atmosphere there. But mostly not. It's kind of hard to see because it's so thin. And we're going to come into a dark area here where the sun is just going to kind of breach over the top of the mountain there. And you heard those rockets blow up as they've already made it to the ground before us. So this part wasn't really hard for me. I've had some rather dire landings, as you'll see in some of my other videos, mainly on the live streams where I had a few more dire issues with the landings. But a lot of that had to do with I was not in creative, I was in science mode, so I hadn't quite unlocked the correct computer for the drone there, and that drone makes a huge difference when it has all of your navigation there versus just having the apices and the periapsis, or rather prograde and retrograde. And it's quite useful to have everything there, because there was missions I'd done before on the Mun where I had literally tried to land with just the prograde and retrograde, and it did not work. You know, it's easy to crash. Getting closer and closer, you can kind of see some of that light smoky cloudness coming up from that really thin atmosphere. And I'm not sure if that's stock or not. I don't think it is. I think that's part of the mods that I have installed, honestly. Still cool nonetheless. Just kind of like a vapor trail coming off as the sun heats up the surface of this icy rock. Getting really, really close there. And we're about to have touchdown. And we've gone into our last and final stage as well. And it just uses your RCS fuel for your fuel source. And we're about to have touchdown any second now. And we have touchdown. We have landed on Minimus. Congratulations, Kerbals. Congratulations, Spartans. We're going to eject our top there, so we're not super top heavy as a rover. But we have successfully landed a rover on Minimus. We will be doing some more missions similar to this with rovers, as well as manned missions in the future, but this is going to be one of the first videos that I've got worked out and scheduled to post. And if you're with me, it'll be Monday that this one releases. So that brings us close here to the end. We're going to go ahead and deploy our solar panels there. And we're going to get all the energy we can from the sun and start exploring Minimus. It's going to be a fantastic ride. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Get the rest of those solar panels out there. And we also still have a little bit of RCS left over here. So it is very beneficial to do a little bit of survey. We're going to do a survey bounce here in just a second. Got to be very careful when you do these. If you come down too hard, it will smash all of your solar panels, and if that's the only source of energy you have, you kind of screwed yourself. We will gently touch back down here. And right there, I was kind of checking the brakes out to make sure that everything was lined out good for our future expedition. And now we're going to get a nice zoomed out view of the gorgeous moon, Kerbin's second moon, Minimus, that beautiful mint green color that's just a speck in the sky there. And there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It has been a lot of fun doing this mission, and I look forward to more content and more videos in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that notification button so you guys are alerted whenever the next video is posted. I will see you soon, and thank you so much for watching, Spartans. See you later. Bye-bye.